KPMG, I work as a senior financial management advisor. My name is Samuel Ivanda, and I've taught this paper for some good time, and I look forward to helping you as well get along this journey of passing this paper and becoming, again, a certified public accountant like myself. So we are here for management decision and control, and that is paper 10. As part of the new syllabus, it is changed number of those that have been so part of CPA know it very well that this paper was paper 11, but now it is paper 10. To those that are doing this for the very first time, we understand that management decision and control builds onto knowledge from quantitative techniques, which is paper 3, and cost and management accounting. Usually cost and management accounting is exempted to many students, especially those that come with an accounting background. Either you did an accounting course or BCom or BBA accounting, you are exempted from this cost and management accounting. So we have TUTI, which nearly every one of us do. I think apart from students of business statistics and maybe quantitative economics, there's a certain category of students that don't do this paper. But above all, MBC is a paper on its own, and its intention is to equip you as a learner with knowledge to be able to support management make key decisions. So on a day-to-day basis, management makes key decisions, and these decisions around different aspects. Could be either to expand the business, to introduce a new product, to service a special order, to hire, to buy machinery, to do various things. That is what happens with the day-to-day decisions. Now, as an accountant, and in this case, a management accountant, there are certain kind of supports that you provide. Now, we provide information to support management make informed decisions, and of course, quality decisions. So at the end of this study, we want you to have the knowledge and skills to be able to analyze financial and non-financial information. We understand that when management is making decisions, they don't only look at financial information. They also have to take into the non-financial. A case in example, if a business wants to expand to, let's say, South Sudan, the numbers might be good in terms of how much they can sell, but there is non-financial information about the South Sudan market. Information around political instability in the area, information around competition, and so on. So as an accountant, a management accountant specifically, because management decision and control trains you to be a management accountant, okay? So that is very, very important for you to understand. So we have various learning outcomes, and as you can see, I'm picking this information from our CPA syllabus, and that is the revised CPA syllabus. Some of you have gotten this document already. Now, this document gates each of our study for all the respective papers. So it's very important that even as you study through this paper or any other paper, that you get to understand exactly what is the source of information, okay? I expect I'm going to be able to share this with you when that time comes, and some of you already have the document, but in case you don't have one, I'll be able to share with you so that you can have it. But you can also find it on the iSPAR website, and believe me, it will be very, very helpful for you to use this within your study. So we have these learning outcomes, and you're going to see them use K, C, A, N, synthesis, and so on. As you can see, this is the meaning of each of those abbreviations that we see on page 90, right here. Page 90, where are you? Okay. So right here. So K is knowledge, okay? So in terms of learning outcome, it's distributed in terms of knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and then evaluation, okay? In case you want to know what each of these relate to, you can go back to that page that I already showed you. So in terms of the first learning outcome, which is discussing the role of a management accountant in an organization. Like I said, this paper trains you to be a management accountant. So you should know what the role of a management accountant is. And here, our focus is comprehension, basically demonstrating the understanding of these roles. Management accountants are not very common to find in their distinct, to be called management accountants. Few organizations recruit management accountants, but organizations that do recruit management accountants are organizations that you find, of course, large organizations. And these management accountants, their role is involved in budgeting, in financial analysis, investment analysis. They basically transform the financial information prepared by accountants in a form that it can be understood by management. So they prepare management accounting reports, or sometimes we call them management reports. But that financial statement, that balance sheet that you have, because the balance sheet will show you the assets, liabilities, and so on. But it's the management accountant that will go ahead to perform ratios. For example, the current ratio, to be able to determine, let's say, the current ratio assets, current assets and current liabilities, and be able to give management what that means with their liquidity. So it's very important that you take note of this. So not only that, we've talked about budgeting. We've also talked about helping management make investment decisions. For example, management wants to invest in a new asset, or they want to purchase a new entity. An accountant comes in here. There are various roles that we shall be looking at as we proceed. The next learning outcome that you also need to understand is the aspect of providing advice in different management decision-making situations. Now, some of you might have already seen that management makes key decisions. And here we're speaking about the CEO, the heads of departments, even the finance manager. People in management make key decisions. Of course, management is divided in three structures. We have top management, which is the strategic management level. Then we have middle management, which are the tactical managers. And then we have the lower managers, who are the operational managers. Each of those managers make different decisions. And for them to make different decisions, they want information, especially on how the business is performing, or they want to find out what is the impact of their decisions, okay? What would that bring to the business? So the management accountant comes into that picture to provide that necessary information to management to make those key decisions. The next thing that we hope that you learn after this class is the aspect of budgeting. So you need to understand budgeting. How do you draw organizational budgets? Okay? How do you draw organizational budgets using appropriate techniques? So we have different techniques of budgeting. We have the zero-based budgeting technique. We have the incremental, and so on. So you need to understand the different techniques and be able to draw a budget. A budget is a financial plan. At the end of the financial year, we have, of course, the financial statements. But those financial statements, we have to evaluate ourselves using the budgets. And that's what the budgets usually do. The budgets help us to evaluate ourselves at that time. So you need to know how to draw the budget. Then the other is apply quantitative models to decision making. So we have different quantitative models, and some of these models you have already studied them in quantitative techniques. At this level, we go ahead to look at how these techniques can actually be used in decision making. A case in point is linear programming. We will be able to again revisit linear programming that you might have done in paper 3, which was paper 2 previously. We'll be able to understand how can we make sense of the information to be able to make key decisions. We have other models like time series, regression analysis. So all those come into picture when we are looking at this paper. So at the end of the day, you will have an understanding of these different models. Of course, how to compute, because these models will have computations in them, but how to compute and be able to find results. The other common model that you also find on this journey is the CVP analysis, which is the cost, volume, profit analysis, which tries to evaluate how cost, profit, and volume relate to each other. For example, yours is to know that the higher the quantity of volume, what happens to the cost, okay? What happens to the revenue? So we shall be able to look at how the revenue curve behaves, how the cost curve behaves, how the profit curve would behave. We'll go ahead to even look at break-even analysis, where break-even is the point in time where the business is neither making a profit or nor making a loss. So those are some of the things that we shall look at. We shall look at aspects of risk and uncertainty, where we now use decision trees. Decision trees are also very common that you use them at one point in time. So those will be some of the things that we'll be able to use even as we proceed through our journey. And then the other is how to apply the accounting control techniques. So the accounting control techniques are also very common. So I was speaking about the accounting control techniques before the system logged me out. So those are also very common that we shall look at them. The other is evaluating performance of business segments. Now, it's very common these days that businesses don't only operate one branch or one subsidiary. You find that a business has different subsidiaries or has different branches, just like the way the banks perform or operate. Now, we as management accountants have to help management be able to evaluate how a branch is operating. A case in point, if it's Stanbic Bank wants to know how is the branch of Alua operating? How is the branch of Guru operating? Or how is the Kampala Road operating? And then through that evaluation, we're able to determine things like controllable profit that has been earned by that branch. And we should also be able to evaluate the performance of the managers, the leaders of those different branches, because it is based on that evaluation that management is able to make key decisions like on remuneration. Maybe it's at the end of the year and management has to give out bonuses. It is after this information that management is able to make informed decisions about such aspects. But also in addition to that, I think we have seen businesses waking up one day and saying, we are closing this branch. Now, without such tools, we cannot know when to close or open a new branch. So we shall be able to learn how do we how do we measure performance of those segments using different techniques. We have return on investment technique. We have economic value. We have residual income, and so on. So you're going to be able to appreciate and be able to advise management on evaluation of performance for each of such similar entities. And then lastly, we'll be able to understand the advanced management accounting techniques. Now, I wish to say that despite the traditional systems, for example, what we have been having in terms of linear programming, in terms of time series, regression analysis, there has been evolvement. Basically, things have changed, that we now have different models, different accounting techniques. So we shall learn about the new accounting techniques that are outside there and see how we can apply them in providing management with key decisions. Okay. Yeah. So some of those, of course, some of those techniques you have you've come across them in the previous study, especially my friends that did cost and management accounting. But at this level, you're going to be able to relate more, and you're going to be able to help management make decisions out of that information that you would have been able to provide to them. Okay. So that is very important for us. So I hope we are moving on well, and I hope you're able to listen. Now, in terms of our mode of study, we are studying this via online, and I'll be able to provide you with, of course, notes, and we'll be able to see how I can also provide you. Also have some videos that I've done in the past. I'll try to provide this to you so that you can be able to use them during your study, including notes, okay? Including notes, and then we can see how to help you pass the paper. It's very possible to pass this paper, especially if you give this your best. But it's also a very tricky paper that many people struggle passing it the first time. Okay? So it's very important that you know that. So for this paper, I'm going to give it my best, because I want to ensure that I don't again have to redo the same paper. Okay, so it's very possible to pass it very first time. Like any other paper, this paper is 3 hours. The paper is 3 hours, and the examiner gives you 15 minutes to be able to read through and be able to choose the questions at hand. Okay, so we have 4 questions in section B, while section A has 1 compulsory question of 40 marks. So it's very important along this study to ensure that you at least looking at the past papers to see how the exam looks like. There are several past papers that you can find online, and even during our study, we'll be able to look at some of the past paper questions, okay? So as you can see, this is the detailed syllabus, and it goes from management information and computation, management information and communication. Since we say that this is more of a communication paper, the management accountant has to pass on the information to management. So we have to understand what is information and what is data and how can data be transformed into information. The role of management accounting, I already commented about this. There's a topic on relevant costs or revenue in decision making. There's a topic on CVP analysis, like I talked about, where even the break-even analysis is included. There's also a topic on costing systems, because we know that businesses on a day-to-day basis want to determine the cost of running their business or the cost of production, because it's based on the cost of production that they're able to determine the price of goods and services, so that they can price their goods and services rightly. We have a topic on pricing decisions. How do organizations set their prices? Then we also have a topic on risk and uncertainty, where again, we speak about decisions in a risky and uncertainty environment, and management control systems here, budgeting and budget control, the standard costing and variance analysis, division performance evaluation, cost estimation and regression analysis. Again, regression analysis is very common to those that did QT. We also study inventory, EOQ. If you remember the economic order quantity, we also bring it here and see how we can apply. We have linear programming, which I talked about. So from your QT knowledge, you're able to bring in some information. And then cost and management accounting, which is one of the last topics. And then we end with the contemporary developments, okay? So that's how their syllabus looks like. It's detailed, as you can see, but I believe we can make it if we are dedicated and we commit ourselves to even practicing any past paper questions and understanding how the examiner can examine these questions. MDC is not just about calculating and finding the answer. You also have to be able to transform that answer into information that management can base on to make key decisions. Okay, yeah. So that is what I wanted to share when it comes to the syllabus. Okay. So this class runs every, of course, today. So every Wednesday at this time, we'll be able to run this class. Like I said, I'll provide you with the notes. I'll also be providing with any other materials that I've done in the past. And then we shall also always have this class to be able to go through more content to help you pass the paper. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, today we started a little late because my Zoom account has a challenge. And as you can see, this class is also going to be a bit short because of the same. But that will be able to be resolved, and then we can have our class in full, okay, without any distractions. Okay. I've posted some videos on management decision and control on my YouTube channel. So you can be able to get some materials in regards, especially on the introduction part. But I also shared the link in your WhatsApp group, one of the WhatsApp groups for MDC. So if, in case you're not part of the WhatsApp group, please, after this class, inform me and then I'll add you to the WhatsApp group, okay? And then I encourage you to look at that introductory class of the management decision and control, where I went through the detailed syllabus, and then that will help you acquaint yourself about the paper. There are totally not any much differences between the previous sitting in terms of how this paper was structured and how it is now. Okay. Yeah. So this is the video I'm talking about that you should be able to go through at least, so that you can just acquaint yourself, where I provide some detail on each of the topics. I'm going to share this link within the chat box. So if you've not watched this video, you can just click on it and watch it. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to end this class here. You can be able to use the next minutes to just click on the link that I've shared in the chat box and be able to go to that site and then watch that recording. And then in the next class, we're going to start on topic 1, okay? So I want to appreciate you for joining through this class. I'm going to end it right now because my Zoom account is a bit limited now in terms of the time. But next class, we are going to have the full class, and we shall continue the conversation on WhatsApp on how we can help each other be able to pass this paper. So right now you can click on that link and move to the YouTube channel and go through that video to give you an insight on each of the topics, and then we can be able to start from there next time, okay? In the way of paying, we have our admin who will be able to